back with another one of our NFL team previews. We're going to the Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are trying to repeat after remaking the majority of their roster. We're going to start with the part they didn't change, quarterback Joe Flacco. They gave him a big extension, and with that comes a big expectations. Flacco threw no interceptions in the playoffs, and it's strong play like that where he limits his turnovers that it's going to make the Ravens repeat if they have any hope, which it's going to be tough for them to do. In the backfield, the Ravens have a very consistent running back in Ray Rice. The explosive 5'9" Rutgers product is almost a guarantee every year for 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns. Well, Bernard Pierce emerged late in the season in the playoffs as a very good backup with a little burst in his legs. Of course, they get lead blocking from Vontae Leach, one of the NFL's top fullbacks the past few years. At wide receiver, the team is trying to replace Anquan Boldin, who due to cap constrictions were forced to trade to the San Francisco 49ers for just about nothing. They're going to lean heavily on former top pick Torrey Smith. The Maryland burner was excellent in the playoffs, and he's going to have to continue that play. Well, playoff hero Jacoby Jones moves from the third receiver to the second receiver and is looking to replace much of Anquan Boldin's production. The question is, who replaces Anquan Boldin? Is it Brandon Stokely, or is it former Indiana Hoosier Tayden Doss? Time's only going to tell that, but either way, it's not a great option for the Ravens. Move to their tight end position, where again they're forced to replace a large part of their offense. Tight end Dennis Pitta received for 30% of Joe Flacco's third down completions, and the majority of those went for first downs. Now they have a man drafted in the same draft class as Pitta replacing him, and Ed Dickson, who slides up to the number 1 position after Pitta fractured his hip and needs surgery on it. The question is, who replaces Pitta as the number 2, or who replaces Dickson as the number 2 tight end? Will it be the Vishanti Shanko or Dallas Clark? Which one of them has more left is the real question. Clark has shown very little the past 2 years, so you have to think it's going to be Vishanti Shanko. The Ravens put out one of the better lines in the NFL. Marshall Yanda is one of the top guards in the NFL, consistent All-Pro. Well, at tackle they have Brian McKinney, who when in shape is a dominant player, but that's a big if. Across from him at right tackle is the blindside success story, Michael Orr, who's in his contract year, so you have to figure he's motivated to play, prove that maybe he can play on the left side if that's needed, or just be one of the top run blocking right tackles in the league. We move to the defense, where they lost their big name players like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, but replaced them and should still be as good a defense. Haloti Ngata is one of the NFL's best nose tackles, a physical specimen at 320 pounds who moves like a man 100 pounds lighter than him. They got a free agent bargain in Chris Canty, who was cut by the Giants, and he will stuff the run, while Arthur Brown will be their best pass rushing down lineman and can also stop the run. The fourth man on the defensive line who will spell these men at times is Mount Cody, the big former Alabama Crimson Tide lineman. Is going to be a good backup who can just eat up blockers and open up lanes for the linebackers to make tackles. Replacing Ray Lewis and Darnell Ellerby in the middle are Jamal McClain and Darryl Smith. Smith, the former Jag, was cut after injuries, but has been a consistent linebacker when healthy, and one of the league's more gifted players at getting to the ball carrier. Second round pick Arthur Brown should be looking at playing time at some point this season. We expect him to maybe push McClain for a starting spot later in the year. When we look at outside linebacker, where Terrell Suggs will be the leader of the defense, the most tenured player on the defense. When healthy, he is always a contender to lead the league in sacks. And then we look across, from there, and we have an interesting offseason story, that of a fax machine and a bad agent who missed the deadline, forcing the Broncos to cut Elvis Dumervil. He signed with the Super Bowl champs and is pushing Courtney Upshaw for the starting job across some Suggs. Either way, they're going to have a good pass rushing option there and a guy who can play. Now we move to the secondary, where they were forced to replace Ed Reed, and they did so by signing former Raider and former throw winner Michael Huff. The former All-Pro from 2 years ago will look to bounce back from a rough season in Oakland, where due to injuries he was forced to play corner, he was forced to play in the slot. They had to play him everywhere in the secondary. Focusing on just playing free safety should give him more opportunities to excel in the Ravens scheme. As strong safety, they're going to have first-round pick Matt Elam. The Florida product is maybe on the smaller size of the position, but can still make plays. At corner, it's Ladarius Webb is healthy. He's going to be opposite Corey Graham, who was very good last season. In the slot as the third corner will be Jimmy Smith, the former first-round pick. Is going to might be challenging for playing time and could eventually be the number one corner in the NFL. We move to special teams, where Justin Tucker is one of the league's top kickers, if not the top kicker in the NFL, as he's got a strong leg and is very accurate. Overall, I think it'll be a tough chance. It'll be a long shot for the Ravens to repeat, as I think they'll be just a playoff fringe contender at 9-7.